My name is Ava Miller. I'm 17 years old. Or I was. Before you decide this is just another dramatic story about death and visions, I need you to know something. I didn't believe in near-death experiences. I didn't believe in heaven, hell, or messages from the other side. I believed in what I could see on my phone screen. I lived in the United States, in a normal neighborhood where houses looked clean and safe and nothing bad was supposed to happen. From the outside, my life looked fine. I went to school. I had friends. I smiled in photos. Online, my life looked even better. On Instagram, I was confident, pretty, happy. My posts got likes, sometimes hundreds, sometimes thousands. People commented heart emojis and fire emojis. They told me I was goals. They told me they wished they looked like me. What they didn't see was how fake it all was. Every photo took dozens of tries. Every story was edited. Every smile disappeared the second the camera turned off. I compared myself to everyone. Influencers, models, even my own friends. I felt like I was constantly behind. Constantly not enough. At night, I would lie in bed with my phone inches from my face, scrolling until my eyes burned. I told myself I was relaxing, but my chest always felt tight. My thoughts raced. I couldn't sleep without checking my notifications one more time. If a post didn't perform well, it ruined my day. If someone unfollowed me, I felt sick. If I didn't look perfect, I felt invisible. I didn't tell anyone. Not my parents, not my friends, not even myself. I just kept scrolling. The night everything ended started like any other. Homework half done, music playing softly. My room lit only by the glow of my phone. I remember refreshing my feed again and again, feeling strangely disconnected, like I was watching my life from far away. Then my heart started racing. At first, I thought it was anxiety. I'd felt it before. I tried to breathe through it, but this time was different. My hands went numb. The room felt like it was tilting. I stood up and immediately collapsed back onto my bed. My phone slipped from my fingers and landed screen up beside me. The last thing I saw was my own reflection in the black glass. Then everything went dark. There was no pain, no tunnel, no light, just silence. And then, I was awake, but I wasn't in my room anymore. I was standing in a vast, shadowed place. The air felt heavy, like it pressed against my skin. There was no sky, no walls, just endless darkness stretching in every direction. I felt small, exposed, completely alone. I tried to call out. No sound came. That's when I felt it, the sense that I was not alone anymore. Someone was standing nearby, and before I even saw her face, I knew she was important. Not because of power, but because of weight, history, authority. I turned slowly, and that's when I saw her. She stood completely still, hands folded calmly in front of her, as if she had been waiting for me. The darkness around her seemed to pull away, forming a faint circle of light. It wasn't bright, more like a muted glow, the kind you see at dusk. I recognized her instantly, not because I was interested in royalty, not because I followed history accounts. I recognized her because the world had shown her to me 1,000 times. Queen Elizabeth II. She looked older than the pictures from magazines, but younger than the final images I remembered from the news. Her face carried a seriousness that made my chest tighten. Not anger, not cruelty, truth. I tried to speak. My mouth opened, but again no sound. She looked directly at me, and suddenly, my voice returned. "Am I dead?" I asked. Her eyes softened, but she didn't smile. "You are between," she said quietly. Her voice was calm, controlled, unmistakably firm. "And you are here because you were listening to the wrong voices." I didn't understand. I looked around, expecting flames, punishment, something dramatic. But there was only this heavy, empty space. It felt cold, but not physically, emotionally. "This is hell?" I whispered. She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she turned, and with a small motion of her hand, the darkness shifted. Images began forming in the air, like screens made of smoke. I saw bedrooms, hundreds of them. Teenagers lying in bed, faces glowing blue from their phones, scrolling endlessly. Laughing one second, crying the next, comparing, hating themselves in silence. Then I saw myself. I watched my own hands shaking as I refreshed my Instagram page. I saw my heart sink when likes slowed down. I saw the smile I practiced in the mirror. the one that never reached my eyes. I felt exposed. "This," the queen said, "is where many souls are already living, long before their bodies die." I turned to her, confused. "But you were powerful. You had everything. Why are you here?" Her expression changed. Not guilt, not shame, regret. "I wore a crown," she said, "but crowns do not save souls. Influence does not equal truth. Legacy does not replace accountability." The images shifted again. Now I saw crowds, millions of people staring at screens, not talking, not touching, not praying, not thinking, just consuming. Endless noise, endless comparison. "This generation," she continued, "was not conquered by war. It was conquered by attention." I felt something twist inside me. She looked at me again. "You believed you were invisible unless you were seen. You believed you were worthless unless you were admired." Tears filled my eyes. "That belief," she said, "did not come from God." The darkness around us grew thicker, heavier. I felt panic rising. "Is there a way out?" I asked, my voice shaking. "Is it too late?" For the first time, she smiled slightly. "No," she said, "but you must see what comes next." The space around us began to shake, and then everything collapsed. The ground beneath us vanished. I didn't fall, I was pulled. The darkness stretched and twisted, turning into something that looked like a massive hall with no ceiling. Floating walls surrounded us, each one glowing like a giant screen. They flickered to life one by one. Lives, not movies, not memories. Influence. I saw faces I recognized instantly. Influencers, celebrities, creators with millions of followers. Some were smiling, some were crying, some were pretending not to feel anything at all. Every post sent out waves. Not metaphorical waves, real ones. Each image released thin threads of light or darkness that traveled outward, attaching themselves to millions of unseen people. Some threads were warm and steady, others were sharp, oily, and black. "Every message carries weight," the queen said beside me, "whether its creator understands it or not." One screen zoomed in. A girl, maybe 13, stared at her reflection while holding her phone. Filters slid across her face, bigger eyes, smoother skin, a smaller nose. With each change, I felt something inside her crack. Then I saw the comments. "Goals, wish I looked like you," the girl smiled. But behind her, something dark grew taller. "She learned to hate herself politely," the queen said. "That is one of the most efficient weapons." My chest tightened. Another screen flared. A boy laughed at a cruel joke video. His laugh was quick, mindless. But in the spiritual world, I saw the sound ripple outward, landing inside another boy's chest, the one being mocked. The ripple turned into shame. "People believe harm requires intention," she continued. "In truth, negligence is often enough." The hall darkened. The screens shifted again, this time showing timelines. Years ahead. Not clearly, not fixed. Possibilities. I saw classrooms in 2026 where children couldn't look up from their screens. I saw rising anxiety charts, medication bottles, hospital rooms, silence where laughter should have been. Social media, the queen said, was never meant to replace identity, but many allowed it to. I turned to her. "Why are you showing me this?" She studied me carefully. "Because you listened, because you compared, because you believed the lie, and nearly paid for it with your life." The screen suddenly went black. A single mirror appeared in front of me. It showed me smiling online, breaking inside offline. "You are not evil," she said gently, "but you were drifting." The mirror cracked. Light poured through the fractures. The queen stepped back. "Your generation still has a choice," she said, "but it requires waking up." A new presence filled the space. The air changed. Warmth replaced pressure. And I knew without seeing him yet that this was not the end. The warmth grew stronger. It wasn't like heat, it was like being remembered. The shadows peeled away, and the hall of screens dissolved into light. I felt myself standing on something solid again, though I couldn't see the ground. The queen stepped back, her presence fading like the final note of a song. "This is where my part ends," she said. "What happens next is between you and him." I wanted to ask 100 questions. I wanted to say thank you. But before I could speak, the light intensified, and everything else disappeared. Then I saw him. Not as a shape at first, more like certainty. Like truth without edges. When he stepped closer, the light softened, and I could finally see his face. His eyes held something I can't describe without ruining it. Authority without cruelty. Love without weakness. He didn't ask why I was there. He already knew. You almost lost yourself, he said. Not with judgment, but with sadness. Not because you were broken, but because you were looking for worth in places that cannot give it. Around us, images appeared again. This time they were personal. Me refreshing my Instagram page. Me deleting photos that didn't get enough likes. Me smiling for stories while crying alone at night. Me comparing my body, my life, my happiness to people who weren't even real. Comparison is a quiet thief, he said. It steals gratitude first, then identity, then hope. I felt tears stream down my face. I didn't mean to, I whispered. I know, he said. Most don't. The images changed. I saw other teenagers, millions of them scrolling endlessly, chasing validation, terrified of being invisible. I saw anxiety rising like a tide. I saw young girls believing they were unlovable. I saw boys taught to hide pain behind jokes and filters. This is not connection, he said. This is noise. Then he showed me something else. A girl putting her phone down and going outside. A boy choosing to talk instead of scroll. A mother hugging her daughter without distraction. A group of friends laughing with no camera recording it. Each moment sent out light. Real light. You were not created to be consumed, he said. You were created to be known. I looked at him, terrified. What happens now? He knelt so we were eye level. You go back, he said, and you tell the truth. I shook my head. They won't listen. Some won't, he agreed. But some will, and one awakened soul can interrupt thousands. The warmth began to fade. No, I said. Please, I don't want to go back to the noise, to the pressure, to the pain. He placed his hand over my heart. I will be there too, he said. Even when you forget, even when you scroll, even when you fall back asleep. Then everything shattered into sound, beeping, shouting, cold air rushing into my lungs like fire. I screamed, then coughed. I was back. Hospital lights, machines, my mother crying, doctors shouting that I was conscious. They told me later my heart had stopped for almost 6 minutes. 6 minutes that changed everything. I'm 16 now. My name is Michael. I still have social media, but it doesn't own me anymore. I don't chase likes. I don't measure my worth in views. When I feel the pull, I remember the mirror. I remember the cracks. I remember the light. And this is what I was told to say. If you are scrolling right now, feeling empty, you are not broken. If you feel invisible, you are seen. If you think your value is a number, that is a lie. Put the phone down sometimes. Look up, breathe, talk, live. The dark side of Instagram isn't the app. It's forgetting who you are without it. I almost forgot, and I was given a second chance to remember.